Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Courtside Soundoff podcast today. I'm Josh Evanoff. He's Angel Ortega. We are back. Took a week off. A lot of stuff going on in both of our lives, personally. And so, ultimately, the show sometimes takes a back seat. And there also wasn't anything to talk about. That's totally gonna use the other reason though. Although we do have some news to talk about today. Some very unfortunate news. Before we get into all that stuff, Angel, how you doing, man? Obviously we are in, what is it, week 2, week 1? Honestly, I don't keep track of time anymore. How's quarantine, or not quarantine?
It's good. It's fine. It's boring, but we're out here, still working, keeping the flow thing, getting that bread. You know the deal.
Being safe, I hope.
Being safe every day, obviously. Safety is number one priority. Shout out to crazy Russian hacker. But yeah, we're fine. At least I'm fine. I'm doing good, staying healthy, feeding myself, doing the typical everyday things, and trying to find some form of entertainment.
We'll get into those forms of entertainment, some of the alternate stuff being, thrown out there. As for myself, I'm doing alright, playing video games. Haven't really done much. If you guys watch Netflix out there, not watching Tiger King. I'm watching through Death Note, the entire series, and then watching the movie to see.
God,
still
Tiger
terrible.
King.
And then I gotta watch Tiger King. It's on my list, but I just haven't been motivated. I've heard all the stories of Joe Exotic, so I don't know. I'm trying to go as long as I can without watching it. Angel, have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but I keep hearing about it, and then it's been described to me. Like, how has it been described to you? I need to know this too.
Okay, so Joe Exotic is like this dude who he owns, like, I believe it's like a tiger farm or like a tiger zoo, his own personal tiger zoo, and he lived in Oklahoma, and he was like this complete hick guy. He was just an insane person. He got arrested for trying to kill a woman or hiring somebody to kill a woman. And it's just about this crazy dude's like, he also like was a musician, and he ran for president. He did a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah. So that's what I've been told it's about. I've not watched it though.
Okay, I haven't watched it either, so can't confirm nor deny any of that.
No, I cannot. I mean, the one meme I've seen is fucking Carol Baskins. I'm not sure what that has to do with it, but I have one photo saved to my phone. It was like the dude's like campaign manager when he ran for president. He ran under libertarianism, like under libertarian. And the dude's quote, which I have saved on my phone, is quote, "I'm technically libertarian, so fuck the feds." So I'm like, goddamn, I respect that. I love that guy. I don't know him yet, but I love him.
Oh wow.
I've actually seen one clip from it, and it's about, he was at the funeral for one of it. He had like, he's gay too, by the way.
Yeah.
His husband died.
I saw that too. I know that.
Yeah, and like his husband's like this young guy, I believe, who died, and he was at the funeral, and he was singing about his balls. Like he was talking about like his like, I don't know, having sex with him or something. Like and I'm like, his mom's sitting right there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this fucking animal.
No respect.
No respect.
Shame.
He's like, we should be having fun, and I'm like, bro, there's having fun, and then talking about your deceased husband's fucking nutsack at a funeral. This absolute savage.
That's beyond savage. That's beyond me.
It's pretty fucked up, but I gotta watch it. But until then, I'm going through Death Note, and then probably Breaking Bad again.
Death Note's so good.
It's so good. I think I'm a third of the way through, so I'm working on it. Yeah, and I didn't realize Lake of Stanfield is actually the Black L in the Death Note movie, and I love Lake of Stanfield, so I gotta go back and watch it.
You know something? I rewatched it not that long ago, shamefully.
Still terrible?
No, it's not. Okay, let me say this. I still think Willem Dafoe was a great choice for Ryuk. I'll tell you that 100%. I thought the CGI was good, like, for what it is. Like, I thought it was fine. Because they did a good job. They didn't, like, try to show him a lot. They kept him pretty well hidden. And you gotta think about it. You're putting an unrealistic, character in the real world. Like, how good can you get? You know what I mean? So that's why I appreciated the Ryuk character and then Willem Dafoe as Ryuk. I thought he did a great job, in my opinion. I had no issue with it. As far, like, that was like the one good thing. And then, I still have my issues with Watari not being as badass as he was in the anime. People sleep on my man Watari.
No, he's
like,
pretty badass.
He was pretty, dude, like, people are like, he didn't even do that much. Look, you didn't appreciate, like, his moments. Like, you didn't understand. That man was, like, very, like, clutch. Like, we're talking, like, he did a lot for L, the L character, you know? But, you know, the movie's definitely not, like, it's hard to adapt something that's not, like, that's the issue. Anime is really hard to adapt, you know? We're talking about a whole other topic, but hey, we need to waste time, so, you know,
we can talk about whatever. It's our own podcast. I mean, I don't think anybody, if you guys don't like it, you can just skip it, honestly.
Skip right now, fuckers.
Yeah, skip right now, because I'm gonna keep on talking about Death Note, because I really want to talk about Willem Dafoe. So Willem Dafoe is great as Ryuk. That's something I took for granted in the moment, and that
was good casting.
It was a great casting. Cause I watched The Lighthouse not that long ago, and The Lighthouse was I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's the crazy ass. It's kind of like an artsy movie with you know, Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson. It's phenomenal, great movie. And Willem Dafoe fucking kills in that movie. And I was like, God damn, Willem Dafoe is great. And I'm like, wait a minute, he was Ryuk. And then Lake Stanfield, who's been in a lot of shit recently. I can't think. He was in Knives Out. He was in Uncut Gems. Great actor, amazing actor.
Still need to watch Uncut Gems.
It's so good. You might as well do it.
I'll watch it. I know. I'll watch it and we'll talk about it. We'll have a podcast talking about it actually, because that gets into some sports stuff, so we can actually talk about that.
Yeah, actually, it's a phenomenal movie. KG, probably the best acting performance I've seen by a non-actor probably ever. But anyways, yeah, I didn't realize how many people were in the Death Note movie and for how bad it is. Because Lake Stanfield is a phenomenal actor. He was in Knives Out, Uncut Gems, and then Margaret Qualley, who was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's been in some other shit as I forgot her name. It doesn't really matter. The other Kira. So yeah.
Nisa.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much like shit was in them. Like in the
Nisa, my bad. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I really disliked it at the time, but I gotta go back and watch it again just to see if it's that bad.
I mean, it has moments where it's enjoyable. By no means, like I tell you, by no means is it perfect, because it's so hard to adapt anime into real life, because it's such like, you know, the expression, like the extravagance of like certain takes and scenes. Like, for example, like the tennis episode, like where Elle and Light first meet, like that'd be impossible to recreate in like, you know, in live action, like that moment. It'd be cringeworthy, you know? Like, it really would be. It can't be recreated, like, that moment like that. And it's so good in the anime, it's so intense. And then, the potato chip scene, that could never be recreated in real life. Because you know, it would be cringe.
So fucking funny.
You think it's funny? I think it's like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
There's some intensity. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god.
Well, that's why it's funny to me. It's because of how intense it is.
Because it shouldn't be.
I'm gonna take a potato chip and eat it.
And then I'll write a name. And then with my other hand, I'll do math equations.
I'm like, this fucking man, dude. It's so,
and then with my feet, I'll jerk me off.
It is my favorite anime of all time. I understand that some people, you know, have certain, you know, ones that they like more, but I think in terms of like just story-wise, it's my favorite one. Like, I have a personal affinity towards Dragon Ball, but I don't know.
It has a lot of, like, it isn't complex, but it has a certain complexity to it that can be appreciated, you know, for being an animation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I like it a lot. And, I mean, it's good. Oh, people, you know, spoiler though, people don't like the ending a lot, which, I mean, it's kind of, you know,
I think it's good.
I think it works out perfectly, you know. You know, if you want to have a fair ending, it's the right ending, in my opinion. Everybody wants Elle to win, but, it doesn't want Elle to win, it wants Light to win, but it's not how things work out, sadly.
Yeah, I think the show, it shows we're getting in spoiler territory, and I want everybody to watch it, so we can talk about this off air, but, anyways.
Big spoiler alert.
Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot, I almost messed that up. Anyways, you guys should watch it. We spent 10 minutes like we did now. Anyway, so we should get into the NBA stuff. So, the news that came out last night, literally right before I went to bed, almost cried myself to sleep. The NBA is leaning towards canceling the season. Obviously, we have no timetable of this. In fact, the president is apparently going to have a conference call with commissioners of sports today at noon. So as of recording this, and by the time that we upload this, you guys maybe know the future of sports, but I saw Vince McMahon, Dana White, Adam Silver, Roger Goodell, all the big heads of sports leagues are going to be there, and they're going to be talking. Even the WNBA for some reason. So I had to go there. Anyway, so Angel, how depressed would you be? Like, what would be the worst part of them canceling the season?
Well, no. First of all, no NBA championship ring for the year 2020. Like that's the thing too. And let me get into this though. I mean, let's go sport by sport. You know, I still think if somehow they were able to get the NBA players to maybe limit their travel, and be able to get places to get tested, play in empty arenas, or whatever, and still have like the ability to play. I still think what the NBA should do is play the games they need to play to have the playoff picture set. Do not play the games out that you don't need. Yeah, sure, they're for a lot. No, fuck that. I'm sorry. It's at this point, like, it doesn't matter. But one, it's for the safety. Two, you already know people use the last couple games just to tank their ass off anyway. So avoid the tank. Just take the hit. It's whatever, right? What is that tiny? What is that? 1-2% going to change for a team. I mean, everybody has a good chance of getting the first overall pick now anyways. It's, it's flat in odds essentially. So at least in my opinion, if they're able to make the NBA come back, just play until the playoff picture and then boom, go into the playoffs and then don't worry about playing those extra games because there's no point. There's no point. I think that's what should happen. So I brought that up. And that'll happen, but that would be my ideal situation. Like allow that to happen that way.
Yeah. And listen, okay, so it's an unenviable position to be in as a commissioner, and I understand they're going to learn a lot today about what they can do. But listen, I would just projections say this current month probably is going to be terrible. This month and May are going to be really, really bad. I've seen I've seen some people are too pessimistic. And some are too optimistic. Some people say by the end of April this will be cleared up. Some people say, you're dumb if you think this will be done before the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
I think those people are too pessimistic. Just looking at it, I think at the current rate we're on, I think we'll probably hit the climax in a week or two. I think we will.
That's what they're saying.
That doesn't mean it's going to go away, because that's the important thing. I think we're probably going to have to do. There's probably be another wave that's going to hit somewhere around August or November. The second that all this stuff goes away, it's going to hit again. And I don't think we're ever going to fully stop, probably until a vaccine gets made in a year from now. Probably less than a year from now. Probably like 10, 11 months from now. Because they're trying to fast track all that. But if I were in charge of the NBA, what I would do, I'd wait until probably June and then start the playoffs. I would just do it. Because, listen, a lot of the teams, only one team would probably be getting screwed, and I can't remember who it is. It's one of the teams on the west side who's sitting on the outside. I can't remember who it is, because I don't have the standings in front of me.
Yeah. It's just seeding. It's just a little bit of seeding, but it's like, for the most part, the picture's set. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be very hard for those teams to make it back. And like I said, and then avoid the tank.
Yeah, and I think one of the bigger parts of seeding is depending on how playoff lines will be drawn and who's going to play where and stuff like that in matchups. But I think given the fact that a lot of teams are just going to be happy to be there, I think that they'll be okay with this. I think they'll be okay with just being allowed to play. Because you see a lot of players are just, I don't remember who it was. I think somebody tweeted out the other day about how much they just miss playing.
True. See, but then you got teams like who are in the playoffs, like the Utah Jazz, and then like the Brooklyn Nets that players test positive. How do they feel about that? Do they wish they had time to recover their players? Is that even a worry in their mind?
They're actually already recovered. I saw a couple days ago.
Really, I know. A lot of them say they feel better. But that doesn't. Do we know that for a fact? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a hard position to be in because there's no real winning given the fact that we don't have a timetable.
I still think combat sports should be done. I'll tell you that right now.
Really?
I still think because it's not like, yeah, a card is full of people, like it's very long, right? But it's only two guys in that ring, or ring or octagon, the ref, the camera guys. The people doing commentary don't even have to be there, and honestly, the people scoring the fight don't even really have to be there, because sometimes you have a better view watching TV. I remember Joe said that. He's like, honestly, sometimes I don't like being cage side. Like, I look down at the monitor and not even look up at the cage because I don't see some of the stuff going on.
Yeah, and I can tell you, somebody who's kind of been cage side a lot of the time, it's also harder to score a fight. It honestly is. Like, it's very misleading at times. Because I'll say it right now, I hate a lot of the Kane's judges. I've been sitting cage side and disagreed almost every single result I've been to, with at least like one I've been like, oh, that's a fucking robbery. So not trying to call him out, but I'm just calling it how I see it. I think judging fights is harder cage side.
Yeah, and I mean, I still think combat sports can be done. Obviously, the whole testing thing, keeping the people separated. The card is long. They have their coaches. They have, their team there, themselves there, multiple fighters. And obviously, I'm guessing there'll be security just for whatever reason, right? Just to be safe. And obviously, there's no fans. Probably not many staff there. Maybe not any staff at all for the most part, besides the very few that would be needed and wouldn't even have to be out there at times. And that's it. Like, and it could still be done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we can get in. We can talk more about this, and like on our other topic, which we're actually going to talk about UFC 246 in a bit. But I think that they probably could do combat sports. Now, there's a lot of issues with it. Obviously, one of the bigger ones being that dudes are going to be cutting weight and they're going to be immune compromised. I think that's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, that's scary. No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we could talk about that in a bit, because we're actually going to be talking about booking UFC 246's Dana White, which I think is going to be a really, really fun thing to talk about. That's what's going to happen, in a couple of minutes. So just hang with us, guys. Obviously, talk about the saddest part of the NBA canceling the season. I think for me, the saddest part is going to be that potentially Giannis may not get his first ring this year, which I think he had a legitimate chance of doing. I think also it sucks for the Clippers, because the Clippers, hypothetically, if PG and Kawhi both leave after next year, then they only had 1 year with them. And also, Anthony Davis, this may have been LeBron's last chance to get a ring if AD leaves. I think there's a lot of stuff involved with this.
See, I don't think AD would leave, but that's a whole other topic to get into later.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but yeah, it's still possible. He hasn't re-signed, so I guess I suppose it's possible. Anyways, we were talking about what would happen if we were in charge. Is there any? Obviously, NBA and 2K are having this thing right now where they're having a players tournament. Yesterday was the first day of games. I saw Kevin Durant got his ass kicked. What would do you have any interest in this going on? Because I saw it was literally on ESPN.
I check it out. I just know that not everybody would be interested in it, so I don't know if they're showing it on, ESPN. And not just Twitch or something like that, or YouTube. So, I mean, I don't have an issue with it or anything, but I think it would have been, I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, it's not like a big deal to me, or I'm not like crazy interested in it. 2K is fucking terrible this year anyway, so.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I saw that Ronnie 2K was talking shit on DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm sure DeMarcus Cousins probably...
Yeah.
He probably said the game was shit too, because everybody else is, so... Just being honest.
It's crazy though, because that means like the community... And I feel bad for Ronnie 2K, because Ronnie 2K doesn't make 2K. He's just like...
Doesn't.
Community. He's the community manager. And everybody's always like, fuck Ronnie 2K, or Ronnie 2K, why do you make such a shitty game? It's like, Ronnie doesn't make the game. Ronnie's the community manager.
People don't realize that. I remember whenever Call of Duty was on the uprise and everybody hated Robert Bowling. They were like, make a better fucking game. I'm like, man's not in charge. Vondar! Zombie sucks, man. Like... But yeah, people blame, I mean, he's kind of a dick, so I don't really feel bad for him, but, he doesn't make the game, so you shouldn't get on him.
True.
Anyways, I guess the final kind of thing for basketball. LaMelo Ball, the best of the Ball brothers. Don't at me. He's going to be the best. I feel like that's kind of I don't want to say it's a given. Lonzo's decent. D'Angelo playing for the OKC Blues. He bought his Australian team. Is this the biggest flex of all time? Biggest basketball flex?
See, this is such like a random thing. And he bought him after he got hurt because he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. He's gonna be out for the rest of the season. And then on top of that, the team is. I mean, do you know if the NBL is still playing games?
It's not.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I'm pretty. So it's like, it's such like a random thing, and then especially since he bought a whole like, it's a big deal. I mean, the NBL isn't like a big thing in the world, but it's a big thing in that country. And Australia is a big country, you know, within it of itself, you know, like it's a continent and a country, you know.
Yeah.
So, who knows where LaMelo pulled this money from? I guess he already made that multi-million-dollar shoe deal with whatever company was supposed to be. The big rumor was Puma. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not yet. But he's like, I guess might as well make my first investment and buy the Illawarra Hawks. So now he owns that whole team. And that's crazy.
That's pretty, well, I mean, it's the big baller brand money, dude. That's how he's got it.
Triple B's in this bitch. It really is, though.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's wild.
It is pretty wild. Good for him. He's probably going to be one of the, I mean, you know more about prospects than I do, so one of the higher draft picks, top 5 for sure.
Some people say he's a given number 1. Yeah, some people say as far as like he's probably the number 1. So
good for him. But yeah, that's I think it's a pretty big flex. In terms of stuff that's not big flex, John Jones. I feel like we talk a lot about John Jones fucking up, and it's not even to be mean, but John Jones fucks up. You know, I don't know what to say, man. He's God bless him. He has a major problem, which every single time he's met with a slap on the wrist. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, John Jones is arrested for DUI, and I believe he was also caught shooting off a gun, which, I mean, that one, like, they found, like, a shell casing inside of his car, and that's why the police got called in the first place. I guess, like, there was somebody who was shooting off a gun. So, he got arrested, he got booked, and the fastest resolution I've seen to a court case, he was given, I believe, 4 days or 3 days of house arrest and 1 year probation, which, I guess, okay, so we've seen a lot of athletes, a lot of celebrities get slaps on the wrist. I think giving house arrest while the entire world is on probation is the biggest slap on the wrist I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, have you?
He goes down like that.
I mean, that's literally, I mean, that's how it went down, my man.
I guess he got lucky again.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, at first I was like, damn, he's done. You know? Like, this is his 3rd offense of, I believe it's either DUI or just a driving offense in general. I'm like, this dude, he's gonna be done, he's gonna get some jail time. Not long jail time. I mean, Floyd got 40 days for beating the shit out of his wife like 11 times. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting much jail time, but I was like, oh shit, maybe enough for him to get stripped. Maybe enough for an interim title match. You know, stuff like that. I was like, oh shit, I'd watch Reyes Santos or something like that. Instead, here we are, John Jones got slapped on the wrist. That's all we really talk about. Teflon John survives once again. But he won't be fighting UFC 246 because UFC 246, leading into what we were talking about earlier, UFC 246 is on the rocks. We are 14 days out. There is no location. I've heard rumblings. I heard rumblings of Dubai. I heard rumblings of UAE, and I guess those didn't work out. And now I'm hearing stuff of a reservation, an Indian reservation, in either Kansas or Oklahoma. That's what I'm hearing. Right in our area, so we can stroll on up there and not be allowed to get in. But regardless, yeah, that's the rumblings I'm hearing. Indian reservation, Kansas, Oklahoma. But again, Habib Tony is officially off. I think they're going to be less motivated to make this fight now that Habib Tony is off. The word was apparently Khabib was told that the fight's not happening in the U.S. 100%, and his gym was closed down, and California's on lockdown, so he's just like, all right, I'm just going to go home. And they told him, all right, yeah, sure, go home. Fight's probably going to be in the UAE. Russia then closes its borders, and the fight's not being held in the UAE, and now it's probably going to be held in the United States. And he was like, what the fuck, I guess I'm not fighting. And then he took it back kind of, and he said, if you guys have a location, if you give me a location, I could probably do it. The UFC has yet to give him a location, and Dana White basically threw him under the bus. Angel, what are your thoughts on Khabib Tony? It's the cursed fight. It's been canceled 5 times now. What are your thoughts?
It continues. It's crazy. We thought it was finally going to happen. You know, no one had been hurt. We were almost there. We were, a month and a half away.
Yep.
Nothing had happened. And then, bam, COVID-19 strikes us right in the asshole. And now we're
COVID-19 out of nowhere.
It wasn't necessarily like that. It was a build-up. I just put it like that to be dramatic. Yeah. But we are here now. It continues. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, they should do it in Vegas, and the way they were thinking about doing it to begin with.
Sadly, the commission there is allowing no combat sports events, so.
Yep, sadly. Should be, though. Should be. I feel like it could be done. You know something? Honestly, if they just said fuck it and just like put all the main events that got canceled within that time and co-main events on that card and that was it, I'd be completely fine with that.
Yeah, I've heard some people throw it out there of like, you know, just doing like a card in like July or something with all the main events. Except Khabib Tony can't happen because Ramadan. Khabib won't fight during Ramadan, which I believe ends in August.
God. See, there's another thing that I heard. Ramadan, you know, that whole thing's about to come up. So it's like, well, even if 2 things do get fixed, Khabib's not going to fight because Ramadan's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, why can't he be like Enes Kanter and prepare throughout the season? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It's harder, man. It's harder.
It's probably harder, yeah. Because Kanter, I remember Kanter talked about that. He's like, yeah, throughout the year, I like prepare myself, for the, you know, so that way during playoff time I can still play.
Yeah. And it's obviously different because he's not cutting weight. He's not literally fighting someone. Like, if he was going to be weaker, stuff like that. He's not going to be strong. Probably can't train as hard. So it's a lot of stuff. So I don't blame him for not fighting. But a lot of people, I want to get something out there right now. If you blame Khabib Nurmagomedov for this fight not happening, you're a straight up idiot. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I'm not talking about Tony saying he should be stripped. That's just posturing. You know, I don't really care. He's just trying to drive fan interest and get his name out there, and he's just trying to posture and look like, hey, I didn't pull out. This isn't my fault, you know, which I get. I don't blame him for that. But listen, if you legitimately blame Khabib, you're just, I don't know what to say to you guys, because there's a literal global pandemic going on. And they're like, why would Khabib ran? I'm like, this dude is 28-0. He has beaten Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier. He's beaten guys that Tony Ferguson lost to. Like he's not scared of anyone. Like, I don't believe that for a second. He could have easily fought Conor right now. Instead, he chose to fight Tony Ferguson. So, yeah, man, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, Angel, you're now Dana White. So, just think about that for a second. You're now Dana White.
Oh my God, I have so much money.
You have you have 2 weeks to book UFC 246's main event because Khabib Tony is off, and the location. Where's the fight going to happen? Dana?
You know, you said you had okay, we talked about this before the show a little bit. We didn't give away our locations, but I want you to go first because if you have mine, I'm pretty much just screwed because mine was really good. So I want to hear yours.
Okay, so I have a realistic one and I have a fun one.
Okay.
Fun.
Okay, so you have a backup one? Oh, so can I do mine then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't know you had, okay. So between Alaska and Russia, there's been a long disputed island, and no one knows, you know, the U.S. and Russia have been arguing about who wants it. You know, we should have Khabib represent Russia, Tony represent America, fight for that island, they fight, and then whoever wins, that country gets that island that's been long disputed. Bam.
Holy shit. That is so much better than mine.
Go ahead.
This sucks. Like, okay, so mine was, have you ever been on a cruise ship?
Oh my God. No.
Okay, so I wanted to go to international waters I wanted to just go to international waters on a cruise ship or on some type of ship and just and just have them fight. And I'm not sure if you've ever done like anything on a cruise ship, but being on a cruise ship is weird because it's constantly moving. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, it's like your perspective is kind of off. Like it feels like things just feel weird. Like I can't explain it. Your body feels weird. If you ever played a sport, I did basketball one time on a cruise ship. Shit feels weird. Physics are off. So what I want is for them to fight on the cruise ship. I want everything to be weird. I want everything to be off. And that's the only way it's gonna happen. International waters. Nobody can sanction that shit. Nobody can tell them no. Nobody owns it. That's how it's gonna happen. Now, my realistic option. Oh, by the way, this can't be Tony Habib because, well, actually, in this situation, it can be. But so for the sake of it, it's gonna be Tony Habib at international waters. Now, the realistic thing, what I want a Kansas Indian reservation. I want them to be half an hour away from my house. I'm going to go there. I'm going to sit outside the arena. I'm going to make my own tickets. I'm going to try and scalp them, knowing that nobody can get into the arena. And then I'm going to watch a card. It's going to be a 5-fight card. All right, now hear me out. It's main event: Francis Ngannou, Jairzinho Rozenstruik for the interim heavyweight title. All right, that's first up. Co-main event: Rose Namajunas, Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade is in the U.S., so is Rose. All right. Third fight down: BJ Penn versus CM Punk. All right. All right. All right.
For who gets to stay in the UFC?
Precisely. Fourth one down. We're getting closer. This is gonna be the only main card on pay-per-view. $70. Normally $60, $70. Fuck you. Okay. We're gonna have.
Oh man.
Artem Lobov versus Dylan Dennis. All right. Now that one is going to be these guys train together, so it's mostly going to be a sparring match. But whatever. Artem Lobov, Dylan Dennis, and then we're going to end the main card of. Oh man, I had those first three planned out. I've been riffing the last two. What could be the fifth one? Give me a sec. Bob Sapp versus Butterbean, and that is going to be the final fight on that main card. And yeah, that's it, man. Bob Sapp, Butterbean, the opener on the pay-per-view. I think we just booked it. I think that Dana White, we know for a fact, we know you're listening, Dana. So just be sure to book all those fights, and then we can throw a little cash our way.
That's what's up.
Or you can come on the podcast. I asked you in our DM conversation, and you never got back to me, bro. What's up with that? I thought we were going to talk about Ford versus Ferrari. I mean, what the hell is up? I mean, we could talk about the hunt. I swear to God, I won't ask you about UFC 246.
The hunt.
my goal is to just get Dana. That's. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I contacting other people, contacting managers. I'm not sure how it's going to happen, but I'm going to get Dana one of these days.
Okay.
Hopefully he doesn't die from the coronavirus. I saw an interview. He was like, if I die trying to book this thing, then I die. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Dana, that's fucking morbid.
I wonder who's aired to the UFC then after that.
I don't. That's a good question. I'm sure it's Joe Rogan. Are they brothers? They're bald-headed brothers. I'm sure that's how that works.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan will have them fight on a basketball court.
Yeah.
Basketball court. Anyways, moving on from UFC, because that's all we really had for UFC, pretty much. Because, not sure you guys know this, there's nothing really happening. So, we'll know more after the meeting today, which I'm pretty sure all sports are going to get indefinitely postponed. That's my official prediction. But I guess we'll see what happens. WrestleMania 36, today and tomorrow. Now, you guys know me, massive wrestling fan. Angel, not as big of a wrestling fan as you used to be.
Anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you were a fan back in the day, back in the day of Edge, and this card, I was so hyped for it, alright? Now, I really don't watch wrestling that much anymore. I mean, I still do. I still watch it pretty regularly. AEW, Impact, all that stuff. But I was really fucking excited, this card, the way it was being built, I'm like, shit, this is gonna be amazing. You got John Cena's coming back for a match against Bray Wyatt, all this Edge is returning, the crowd reaction he got at the Royal Rumble was amazing. And by the way, I'm talking about this because we talked about WrestleMania last year. If you don't like this, same thing. I will read you back to you to what I said during Death Note. Skip the fuck past it. You guys don't have to. You guys don't have to. I'm saying a lot of shit today, and I don't know what's up with me. I think it's because like I made die from this, so fuck it. I don't really have the time to just.
No
I can talk
filter.
about what I want. Anyways, WrestleMania 36. Yeah, I was really excited for this card. Now I was really really excited. And since then, it's completely devolved. Like, and the way it's happening is a lot of people. I saw somebody on Twitter. It was Roddy James Edgar, great journalist. He was the guy who Tony Ferguson cussed out for giving him props on his mental health at UFC press conference not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy, right for KHI Press. He tweeted out long, like I think it might have been yesterday or the day before, about like how is wrestling still happening in a time like this? Like every other sports goes down. And I'm like, well, there's no athletic commission for wrestling. WWE runs itself. They have their own performance center. This is basically what was going to happen with the UFC. The UFC has the Apex, WWE has the performance center, except nobody sanctions the WWE. So as long as the state government, until they get in, they can do whatever they want. So from my understanding, but they still allow talent to get off the show, and if anybody's sick, they're sent home and stuff like that. Well, it's today and tomorrow. It's a 2-day show. WrestleMania, I know a lot of people have been saying this for a while. It should be 2 days, given the fact how big the card is. So now it's 2 days. It's today and tomorrow. Angel, do you have any interest? Because I know I'm going to be watching. I know I have interest in Edge and Orton.
I might as well now, because there's nothing to watch.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I saw, who was it? I saw somebody on Twitter. It was a fighter who was like, there's nothing else to watch. So I guess I'll watch. It was Conor McGregor's coach. It was John Kavanaugh. He was like, there's nothing else to watch. This is the closest thing to fighting. I guess somebody watched WrestleMania today.
And like, it's like, I could rewatch fights, but sometimes it's like, oh man, I could skip the fight to go forward. That's my issue with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I go forward to like a part that's interesting.
I'm like, oh my god, this is such a slow round, so I skip ahead, and then I end up skipping too much, and it's like, dang, that's it. You know, I don't get the same excitement.
Yeah,
so
actually,
I don't know.
watching fights. I literally
I need to get ESPN 30 for 30.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about those, because there's a couple that, like, I think it'd be fun during this time of nothing going on, just talking about one, reviewing it. Like,
we need to do the one for Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut.
Oh god, I hope so.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I'm gonna get ESPN 30 for 30 and actually watch that.
It's on $4.99, so
it's so worth it.
It's very worth it. I've had ESPN Plus really since it kind of since UFC got added to them like last year. Great purchase, $4.99 a month. And we're not sponsored by them. Until they decide to. But yeah, great offer.
So
great
don't
offer.
go over there and buy it from them because we didn't send you.
We did not send you, but if you do buy it, just tell them that we sent you, and hopefully they'll get back to us. Speaking of that, Raid Shadow Legends is the #1 RPG.
Oh man, love that meme.
The other day I was thinking about, like, what happens if I just start saying that we're sponsored by someone and we're not actually sponsored by them? Like, if
we should try to get our Shadow Legends sponsor because everybody has a sponsor from them.
I've legitimately thought about doing it. Like, just keep on doing it until like they get back to us. And they tell us to fuck off, but
they're like, quit saying our name. We don't want to be connected to your brand.
Yeah, please stop. But yeah, probably could. I mean, honestly, like, let's hope they don't listen to this one segment where we're talking about them. But
true.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch WrestleMania today. To get back to the topic real quick, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that today and tomorrow. Actually, I might skip today and might just watch all of it tomorrow. Just have like an all-nighter or some shit. But yeah, I'm reasonably excited. I'm excited because of how weird it's gonna be. It was like whenever UFC Brasilia happened. I wasn't that excited for the cards. Actually, I was pretty excited. I loved UFC's Brasilia as a card. Obviously, Oliveira and Lee and all that stuff. That seemed like a century ago. Holy shit. But anyways, I was excited for it. But also, you know, I was excited to see how it's going to be with no fans. I was excited to see how weird it is. And ever since WWE moved to the Performance Center with no fans, I've watched every single show. And that's just because of how weird it's been. I've watched every single AEW. There's been nothing to watch. I wouldn't watch it willingly. But it's so strange that I kind of have to watch it just as like a test. And a lot of people are like, just postpone it. I'm like, here's the issue with postponing WrestleMania. There's no timetable for this, and I think that's kind of the issue. Because if they can do it right now and just get it out of the way in like from my understanding, they film stuff for the next couple weeks, then they're fine. You know, they can just film it, get it done, and then come back in a couple weeks, film it, and so on and so forth. So that's what I think it's a good idea for them to do it. I'm gonna watch it. As for predictions, I put out predictions on my Twitter for a couple of matches. If anybody cares about that, I remember there was one year where I predicted every single match right, and I was really pissed off because you can bet on WWE on a lot of sites. You can bet on everything, which I think is funny. You can bet on The Bachelor. Anyways, I predicted every single match right, and I got really pissed off because I didn't bet on anything. So there you go. If you want my official prediction, I put that out on the Twitter on the top 5 matches. So pimping out my Twitter as always. So the final segment, the last topic. Anthony Joshua, Pulev postponed, and also Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders is postponed. Of those 2 fights, one was obviously scheduled for May 2nd, which is Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo, so that one makes sense. The other one, which I think is interesting, is the fact that Joshua Pulev was postponed, which means that they're not thinking this is going to get wrapped. I believe this is scheduled for June 20th. So that means it's not even going to be wrapped until then. Angel, of these 2, which are you saddest about?
I don't even know if I'm really sad. I mean, because I like anytime those are high profile names, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm probably just as sad as for both, like evenly more than anything, because it's like, we didn't have much like good boxing to start the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this would have been like a nice like thing to have. Like, what did we have at the start of this year? I don't think we had anything really, right?
Andrade fought, and then on the same card, Jake fought.
But I'm talking actually like a good fight. You know what I mean?
not a meme fight. I mean, I can look back, but I don't. Oh wow!
There's stuff. Okay, yeah,
God
that's
damn,
what
I
it.
can't believe we forgot that one.
Kyle forgot about. That's the one thing. But yeah, like, see, that's the only one we can think about right now.
I'm actually gonna check. Wikipedia is really good for stuff like this. You can see. By the way,
there was more upset fights, some more interesting stuff that happened that we didn't watch probably. Like, I know there's some that now that I remember, but it's like when it comes to like general public interest and I guess that kind of doesn't make us look the best. It's like, oh, they're not real boxing heads or whatever you want to put it. You know what I mean? It's like, we want to give people content they're generally interested in. Like, people want to know some of this stuff, and we still check out some of those. Maybe not like, the Luke Campbells of the world and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Campbell's still a big name.
If you don't think we're real boxing heads, fuck you. I don't care. I mean, like, I don't think necessarily being a real boxing head is necessarily that big of a thing. But we've talked about a lot. Also, Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin was postponed, and so was Wilder Fury 3. That one's probably going to be postponed. They haven't officially postponed that one yet, but White and Povetkin was postponed until July 4th, which is going to be dope if that happens.
This is probably a good thing for Wilder, not thinking about it. More time to recover.
Absolutely.
Get in that mental state.
Well, the reason why they did it is because it was a contract thing. Like, they had to have the fight by July 18th, the third one, if he was going to get it. But now, obviously, due to other issues, he's going to have postponed probably, I've heard maybe even October or
maybe
November.
Even longer, because we don't know. We don't know when this thing's going to I'm trying to be negative or pessimistic here. We really don't know. It could be even longer than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're looking for Josh's official prediction, I've been on top of this thing since the beginning. You guys can talk to my friends. I'm not sure why you would. You guys don't know them, but this is a stupid fucking thing to say. My friends who are listening, you guys know that I've been on top of this since the beginning. I've told everybody to work about this shit. I said things are gonna hit us hard. And, I've been dunking on Trump since the beginning. But anyways, I've been saying my official prediction, that nobody gives a shit, is that this first wave, I think it's gonna be a second wave, I think this first wave is probably gonna be done by late May. I think probably early June, shit's gonna start happening again, and then we're probably gonna get hit hard again. Because if you just look at China projections and South Korea, the way they're dealing with stuff, South Korea's sports are gonna start up in another 3 or 4 weeks again. So dope for them. Yeah, but, something that really makes me mad is South Korea had their first case the same day that we did. And you can just look at the difference between the two countries. I understand that America's much bigger, but come on, man. Like,
South Korea.
Yes, shout out South Korea. They've been doing they were testing 200,000 people a day, something insane.
Wow.
So they're doing phenomenal. Shout out South Korea. So if you're that sports starved, I believe in 3 weeks South Korean basketball starting up again. So fuck yeah for them. But anyways, I think this thing will probably be done June, the first wave, and they're probably going to hit again later in the year. And then I think we're going to be doing this until there's a vaccine officially made. So, but I think soon enough we'll see shit. Probably June, probably get back to decently normal. I don't know if sports will be back by then, but as for the rest of the world, because I feel like sports aren't going to have them for a long time with large crowds. I feel like large crowds aren't going to have them for a long time.
No, you're absolutely right.
Like over 300 people probably won't have them for a long time. And I think 300 is even like a decent, like shooting too high number. Probably 100.
Maybe even that's too high.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I don't know.
The 10 number they have right now, like 10 people in the room, is pretty arbitrary. So I feel like that won't be done probably soon. But they officially put in the thing of like keeping all the social distancing stuff in place until at least April 30th, and then after that, I'm assuming there'll be another 30 days.
Okay, perfect.
But anyways, do you got anything left you want to say before we close up?
Nothing in particular. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay off the streets.
Yeah, stay off the streets unless you're homeless, which I guess you don't really have a choice. But I actually saw, this is really off topic, right before we end, I want to say Nevada's a shitty place to live. Because I saw that Nevada was doing a thing for homeless people to make sure that they're staying. Vegas hotels are empty right now. And I saw that fucking Nevada is painting places for homeless people to sleep. So they're social distancing, but they're not letting them stay in empty buildings, empty hotels. They're literally painting physical places for them to sleep, but to make sure it's social distancing. That's part hilarious, part fucked up. Like, in terms of just hilarity of like Idiocracy, you guys ever seen the movie Idiocracy? That's some shit out of Idiocracy. But, I love that movie. It's like we're living in Idiocracy right now. I love that movie. Anyways, yeah, so all the social media stuff is always, at Courtside Sound 1 on Twitter, Courtside Soundoff on Instagram, Facebook. Again, those aren't really active, but if you guys want to give us a like, we'll always appreciate it. Courtside Soundoff on YouTube. We officially celebrated our 1 year not that long ago, and we've had a great, phenomenal year. We've had a lot of fun with you guys over the past however many weeks, 55 weeks, something like that. So yeah, Courtside Soundoff on Spotify. You can get us anywhere you really want to get a podcast: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, other distributors whose names I do not remember. But thank you guys for listening. As always, I'm Josh Sonoff. Who's Angel Ortega at @AngelOrtega_01 at Josh Sonoff on Twitter. Thank you guys. So peace and bud grease. Mouse click.